Hello, it's Callan from Twindera. I've always been a fan of rhythm games and always enjoyed being able to read the numerous upcoming notes and react accordingly. There is nothing quite like the satisfaction of full comboing a song with all the complex and difficult patterns. Today, I'll be talking about a game that technically isn't out yet, at least outside of Japan, and while there is no confirmation of an overseas release, they have stated they are actively working towards a worldwide expansion. And with the game netting over 1 million users for its pre-registration, I think it's a case of when, not if, it will happen. Welcome to the worlds of Project Sekai, colourful stage featuring everyone's favourite twin-tailed teal-haired vocalist.
Project Sekai, colourful stage featuring Hatsune Miku.
Project Sekai is the story of 5 musical groups that form together and can cross over into other worlds known as Sekai. These Sekai are hosted by virtual singers, i.e. Vocaloids, who mentor the young performers. Miku in multiple forms serves as a guide, along with a specific Vocaloid helping in each world. The 5 groups are Leo/Need, an all-girl band led by Hoshino Ichika, the title character that appears alongside Miku. An idol unit known as More Jump, a heavily inspired DJ and rap group called Vivid Bad Squad, 25G Nightcode De, despite having never met, made music through a vocal chat communication, and lastly, my personal favourite group, Wonderland's X Showtime, the lovable goofballs that try and build up a neglected amusement park. Project Sekai was developed by Colourful Palette, a new studio by Craftegg, who also developed the popular Bang Dream mobile game. And, naturally, the gameplay is very similar to the Bang Dream one, in the sense that you collect cards of the characters that you pull from the gacha, and with those cards you build a team and play the songs in rhythm by tapping, holding, and sliding. There are increasing difficulties and you can adjust the speed of the notes. Even though I had played previous games of this nature, I found the timing quite difficult at the start, but eventually adjusted. I don't know if I would describe it as harder than Bang Dream, but when I got used to it, I found it quite smooth. If you've ever followed any of the Vocaloid performances or songs of that nature, then you will find a lot of the songs quite recognisable here. I really appreciate that there is no cost for performing a song, so you can actually keep playing as much as you want, though the experience and rewards are naturally diminished. There is an energy system which recharges at 10 and can be used to scale up the rewards and experience. It does feel that this is a little too small, but that is probably to compensate for the ability to repeat songs as much as you want. I would like to see the energy be increased, but only when you reach incredibly high ranks, so as to not offset the game balance. Unfortunately, just skill won't net you a high rank. You'll need the right cards, which luckily you can level up by just simply playing. In addition, you can use score sheets to manually level them up, though you would need to use a lot of them on 3-star cards and above. Once you have the right items, you can level them up further and even power up their abilities. There are also multi-lives, in which you can team up with 4 other people to complete a song. You can select your specific song recommendation and then your own difficulty. Additional rewards are granted to the MVP, the one with the highest score. There are also these character rank song challenges, in which you can only use the cards of the character that you select. This increases their bond. The gacha pulls seem fair, though the elusive 4-star cards are notably difficult to draw. I've only managed to pull one since playing. Of course, this is entirely luck-based. Thankfully, the game regularly lets you acquire crystals, so getting a pull isn't just an arduous task. Any extras you pull can be turned into currency to help power up your other cards, though the amount seems fairly minuscule. There are a multitude of shops scattered around the game, such as buying additional songs, including extra covers from different members of the groups. These are solely cosmetic, though some of the covers are actually really good, and I recommend listening to them in your spare time. There are also items that you can buy that will appear in the locations. They give buffs to certain members, groups, and types. They stack and are again to help increase your scores. It's nice that they appear in the world. It's not exactly customization, but it does give the feeling that you are building up these locations for some variety. In addition, there are costumes which can be obtained through materials which drop from songs. They mostly serve as aesthetic, though I like that they aren't bound to specific characters. Characters from the groups will regularly appear in the real and Sekai worlds, which can be interacted for dialogue and points increasing the bonds of their groups. These bonds unlock stories, which further unlock rewards to buy more songs and give crystals. Unfortunately, I am not fluent in Japanese, so I can't comment much on the stories, but there does seem to have been a concerted effort to make all the groups likeable and have well-balanced stories. Each gets a Miku variation, plus some of the other Vocaloids to bounce off in the stories. There are little comics with the characters that appear during the loading. A lot of time, care and attention was given to the new characters, and I definitely want to learn more about them. In terms of the overall graphics of the game, I would say that it is very appealing to the eyes. The character sprites are very crisp and smoothly drawn. They are well animated and fluid. All the characters are voice acted, except for the virtual singers, though they do have some set phrases that they speak.
ミク、一人だと暇じゃない。本とか読む？歌っていたいか。The musical videos have a very eye-pleasing aesthetic, with some really nice use of colour. They are lavishly rendered and filled with lots of character. I actually really appreciate that the focus is on the performance and dancing, rather than the visuals, which makes sense as the characters are the more important aspect of this game. The character models have their positive and negatives, and for the most part look really good, and it's only really looking at them for too long that you start to notice issues. The models move really nicely, and the motion with the dance choreography is very fluent. However, when interacting with other objects, the outcome is a little janky. The models aren't the most detailed, as this is a free mobile game, though I couldn't help but feel that the hands looked unnatural. Some models, such as Miku, have hair that moves in motion, while other models are more stiff and I feel less time were put into them. While playing the game, I can't imagine you'll have time to notice this, and it's only for this video in which I looked at the music videos did I notice, but I thought that I would mention it anyway. With all the effects that are on screen, I can't imagine that these will draw your attention. While I come off as critical here, I actually still really like the models, and actually prefer them to the Project Diva models, which feel a little outdated at this point. The visual effects in the gameplay seem much more simplistic compared to the more flashy Bang Dream, but I do feel that this was maybe intentional. The character cards appear to the sides and occasionally appear to motivate each other, and on a side note, I like that the dialogue of the two individuals seemingly always matches up, with the character having set number of phrases, usually one for asking and one for responding. Plus, they will have set dialogue for certain characters, such as other members of their groups or other relationships between the groups. I found that when playing Bang Dream, that their effects would sometimes cause me to get distracted, but the effects in Sekai never diverted my eyes away from the notes, though I could still clearly see them. There's a little less flash, but not at the expense of the player. The notes are clear and it is very easy to understand. Project Sekai is not bringing a lot new to the table in terms of the genre, and is likely banking a lot on the names of the virtual singers. It's a game that I found can get repetitive very quickly, and draining if you pour hours focused on it. It can be real fun in quick bursts, and especially as more stuff gets added, such as events. The game isn't necessarily for everyone, and if you have your preferred rhythm game already, there isn't a lot of new stuff that can pull you in. A unique addition that is included in this game is the virtual lives, which will draw in idol fans, and that taps into the recent VR trends. Characters or groups will perform, and you can attend them with your little avatar, as long as you arrive at the specific time. You can arrive before and loiter around with others. The avatars can be customized as well, in addition getting glow sticks, which can change the colour to match the character, as well as perform actions to cheer on the singers. You can be awarded for attending with crystals, and it can be fun to take part in, looking at others in the crowd and watching the performance as if you were really there. It's a little fun roleplay, and I did enjoy my time, though I could not see myself going out of my way to do it for every concert. There is little to incentivize attending other than wanting to see your favourite characters, and little reason to attend repeat performances. A fun pastime rather than an integral game mechanic. If this does get a global release, which I'm fairly confident it will at some point, due to the Vocaloid's worldwide popularity, I definitely recommend at least trying it, at least for an hour or two, to see if it draws you in. Fans of the Virtual Singers should definitely give it a try, and hey, you might fall in love with these new characters as well. Even if you're new to this type of genre of gaming, this is definitely a good introduction to rhythm games, with nothing complicated to keep you away. Thank you for listening. This is a very different type of video for me, and I felt very nervous writing this. I don't feel I have articulated all the points I wanted to make properly, but I definitely wanted to air my thoughts and opinions on this game, because I generally really like it. I hope that it succeeds even more than it's doing now. If my words convinced you, check out the Project Sekai Twitter. There's an unofficial one that does translation, and hopefully will one day break the news of a global release. If you have the time, consider subscribing to the channel, and please comment below your opinions or even feedback. We are always willing to engage with anyone who wishes, and we always try to respond to any comments we get. Thank you, and goodbye.